Well, good morning, everyone. And on behalf of the Maine Department of Veterans Representative Team, we welcome you to our presentation on the HIRE Vets Medallion Program. I ask that all participants please mute your system. You can either opt to use your video or not, but also there's a raise your hand and a Q&A feature to ask questions. These controls can be found on the menu bar located at either the bottom or the top of your screen area. Simply click on the control and enter your question or raise your hand and we'll call on you. We have a tech team of some of our awesome veterans representatives should you need assistance. You can also hold your questions to the end as we will have time for some interactive follow-up. Why isn't my screen moving here? So I am Leo Dion. I'm the local Veterans Employment Representative for the Career Centers and your host for this morning. As a member of the Veterans Representative Team, I've been engaged in veteran employment services and advocacy for over 5 years, both in state government and in the nonprofit sectors. And as you can see on the slide, I am also a retired Chief Warrant Officer with the United States Coast Guard. So what is the HIRE Vets Medallion Recognition Program? The Honoring Investments in Recruiting and Employing American Military Veterans Act, or HIRE Vets Act, was created by executive order back in 2017, and it tasked the U.S. Department of Labor, Veterans Employment and Training Service to formally recognize employers who recruit, onboard, and retain veterans in the workforce. It is the only federally recognized program of its kind for employers in this effort, in the effort of hiring veterans. This program not only recognizes business efforts in hiring and retaining veterans in your workforce, but can also help with promoting and recruiting veterans. It is important to note, though, that this is a United States Department of Labor, Veterans Employment and Training Service program that is filtered down to the state level for promotion and encouragement as a recognition avenue for you to consider in your recruitment strategies. The first year of an active program was in 2018, with Maine not having any businesses recognized. In 2019, Maine had one business recognized, and that was Dead River Company, receiving the gold recognition in the large employer category. During this past program year, 675 businesses were recognized nationally, and Maine had 3 businesses recognized in 2020 for their veteran employment recruitment efforts. And they were Career Systems Development Corporation, Penobscot Job Corps Center. They received the gold recognition in the medium employer category. General Dynamics Bath Iron Works Corporation received the platinum recognition in the large employer category. And Dead River Company receiving their second consecutive gold recognition in the large employer category. Maine, as a result of having an older veteran population and not being home to any large active duty bases, is at a slight disadvantage as compared to other states. Since this program was established, over 1,340 businesses have been recognized nationally. One misconception to clear up, though, is that is this an award from the U.S. Department of Labor, or is it recognition? While it's often referred to as an award, we promote it as a recognition to employers for increasing the number of military veterans they not only recruit, but also retain. Here you see the HIRE Vets Recognition Criteria Table for 2021, our current application year. This provides the breakdown for both platinum and gold level recognition in the different employer categories, as well as the requirements for each level of recognition. Again, this is a recognition and you must apply to be recognized. Depending upon the size of your company and the level of recognition desired, you must meet specific criteria in recruitment and retention of veterans, various levels of integration assistance programs, such as a veteran resource or Aspire group, leadership or mentorship programs, pay differential, and tuition assistance for veterans, as well as adherence to labor laws. For example, let's say your business has 60 employees and you wish to apply for the HIRE Vets Gold recognition. Your business would be in the medium employer category. Not less than 7% of your hires must be veterans, or not less than 75% of your overall workforce must be a veteran. So let's break this down. Say you hire 10 people over the application period. 7% would be 0.7. Well, you can't hire a partial person, so one of those 10 hires would need to be a veteran, or of your staff of 60, 8 are veterans. Of those 8 veterans, 6 would need to be remain employed for over 12 months to achieve the 75% retention rate. And then of your 60-person workforce, 7% of your overall staff must be veterans. Following the math, that comes out to 4.2 workers. Again, you can't have a partial worker, so you round up to 5, meaning you would need to have 5 veterans in your workforce of 60. So you look through your records and you find that indeed 6 of your veterans remain employed for over 12 months. Even if you didn't hire that one veteran during the application period, you meet the 75% retention rate and you exceed the overall staff percentage for veterans in your workforce. I know this sounds a little confusing, but veterans representatives are available to assist you with that calculation if it's needed. One thing we found while promoting this program, as we've been promoting it for several years now, is that often employers don't ask during hiring or track if new or existing staff are veterans. This is something you should begin tracking or find out prior to determining your recognition eligibility. The best way to approach this is to ask, have you ever served in the U.S. military? As some who have served may not consider themselves veterans. And you can ask this during an interview or onboarding, or even talking with some of your veterans that you may have on staff already, but are not aware that they are veterans. Next, while you have not established a veterans resource program yet, you may have a robust leadership program, which coincidentally, your veteran workers are integral to its success. You would then meet the next criterion of having either a veteran resource group or a leadership program. You only need to meet one of these 2 criteria for eligibility. And note that these criteria must be established by the preceding December to be eligible. The last aspect to address is denoting any labor law violations in accordance with 20 CFR 1011.120. This statute deals with any circumstances that would find a business ineligible to receive HIRE Vets recognition per the U.S. Department of Labor. An example of an infraction could be an active civil or criminal judgment against your business. In our example that we're using, your business has no negative findings. You can now proceed with completing your recognition application and submitting it with your application fee. We'll discuss fees here shortly. While we focused on the gold level recognition for a medium-sized employer, as many businesses in Maine would fall in this medium employer category, eligibility criteria, as you can see, becomes more involved and more stringent, depending upon the level of recognition and the size of your business. Yet the methodology on how to determine eligibility remains the same. As I mentioned earlier about an application fee, during our example, there is a program fee associated with the program, which is why I refer to this as a recognition program and not an award. As you can see here, the 3 different application fees. A small business would pay $90 to apply, whereas a large business would pay $495. These are based on the size of the business and not the level of recognition. So why is there a fee, you ask? The executive order creating the program did not come with funding. So this program is funded solely through the application fees that it generates. Next, we'll walk through the application timeline. The application period runs January 31st, April 30th of each year. We just opened the 2021 application period 10 days ago. Review of application packets takes place by the end of August, and employers who are to receive the award are chosen by late September. Employers receiving recognition are notified by mid-October and publicly announced to coincide with Veterans Day each year. The reason for the lengthy consideration period is that the U.S. Department of Labor, Veterans Employment Training Service, receives an upwards of 600 applications each year, and each application must be vetted against the program criteria, and that does take a bit of time. So what you need to know about the program is that the fees are paid at the time the application is submitted. In addition, fees are not refunded should you not be selected to receive recognition. This is an annual program, so in other words, you must apply and pay the application fee each year you wish to participate. Should you have unique business questions, need help with determining your eligibility, or assistance with the application, your Maine state veterans representatives can help you with that process. Employers receive a digital icon, either platinum or gold, depending upon their application, with the year included on the icon, which we'll cover under benefits. But as you are considering how your business compares to the HIRE Vets Medallion Recognition Program requirements, think about the various eligibility criteria and categories. All requirements for the 2021 recognition had to have been in place during the calendar year of 2020. While it may be too late for applying this year based on those actions, now is a great time to build your foundation for the 2022 application cycle. We can send you a copy of the current eligibility chart if you think your business meets criteria, or if you want to start planning early for 2022. The eligibility chart, along with additional program information, can also be found at hirevets.gov. Now you know a little bit more about the program, the different business categories and criteria, as well as how to apply and what it costs. What are the benefits of recognition? The digital icon you receive can be used in your corporate internal and external publications, print and social media marketing, as well as use in your signature block of emails, promoting your contributions in hiring and retaining veterans. The use of this icon is really limited only to your imagination. Recognition through the HIRE Vets Medallion Program is an economical recruiting tool to attract the most dependable, diverse, and dynamic workforce around, the military veteran. Most businesses already have marketing funds to pay for some type of recruitment efforts, and business marketing, whether it be through job ads, media promotion, and job boards. You could possibly add the cost of the HIRE Vets Medallion Program application fee into your budget moving forward. If you're already onboarding veterans, why not be recognized among your peers and the business community for your efforts? You can also use the HIRE Vets Medallion as a signal beacon to veterans that you are a veteran-friendly employer wanting to hire them. Attract those veterans who not only bring a wealth of technical ability, but also those soft skills such as integrity, dependability, leadership that can immediately enhance your business operations. Veterans come from a variety of backgrounds and locations. The one thing that we all have in common is our military service. And yes, veterans talk. As we all know, word of mouth travels fast, even faster with social media. Use your existing veteran workforce as an ambassador to other veterans with the HIRE Vets Medallion as a catalyst for that conversation. Veterans, if afforded the opportunity and promotion potential in your work environment, will be some of the most loyal members of your team, which in turn reduces turnover, onboarding, and training costs. And yes, it gives you the chance to hire the right veteran for the right job right now. Veterans representatives are strategically located throughout the state. To find your nearest veterans representative, please visit the Maine Career Center website at mainecareercenter.gov and select the green Veteran Resource tab in the center of the page. Then scroll down to the Veterans Helping Veterans section. Locate the Career Center closest to you and click on the link. You will find the name, phone number, and email address for your nearest veterans representative. Maine Career Centers also hold weekly industry-specific hiring events every Thursday. These are not veteran limited just to veterans. This is open to the public. But due to COVID-19 restrictions, these events are being held virtually via Zoom. If interested in participating, visit the Maine Career Center website, select the green Job Fair tab, and it will be just above the Veteran Resource tab. You'll find a list of upcoming hiring events. Just select the event that you're interested in, and it will provide you with the details and also how to register. So next, I'd like to open up to any questions that you may have. I know that's a lot of material in a short period of time. We went through an example of how to apply and look at your eligibility criteria, and also the resources that are available to you should you have questions about applying or the criteria itself. So if you have questions, please feel free to either unmute yourself, use the raise your hand feature, and fire away with questions.
Hey, Leo, it's Robin. How are you?
Hi, Robin. Good morning.
Good morning. Hey, is the application right online at that website that you gave us, hirevets.gov?
Yes, it is. If you go to the hirevets.gov website, it will ask you if you want to register. If I can share my screen, I can actually show you that. Let me see here if I can do that. I'm already sharing my screen. But yeah, Robin, go to the hirevets.gov website. You want to register. It's an online application fee or application process, excuse me. Okay. You'll need to register your business. It costs nothing to register the business to submit your application. The reason for the registration is that's how they keep track of how many requests they receive and then how many requests get approved. So it's a fillable form that you send in. There may be questions that they will follow up with as far as, well, how did you determine the percentage of your veterans in your workforce that were retained over a year? How do you know that 7% of your overall staff are veterans? So those are the justifications that you would provide with your application for them to consider.
Awesome. Thank you.
There's a question on chat for you, Leo, from Annette, who I believe is from St. Mary's. She asked, are you able to share this deck, the PowerPoint, with everyone?
Yes, we have the email addresses for all the participating businesses that registered for the event. After the event is over, we can send this deck out to those that are interested in having it. And you'll also have the eligibility criteria chart in there as well.
Hey, Frank, it's Jeff from North Center.
Hey, Jeff.
No, I'm sorry. I was looking at the wrong name. I'm sorry, man. It's one of those mornings for me. I'm sorry. So since North Center is with Performance Food Service, would they look at the size of the company based on our facility, or would they have to look at the attachments because we're affiliated with Performance Food Group?
Jeff, that's a good question. And that issue actually impacts several businesses in the state of Maine because they're a national business. HIRE Vets Medallion Program looks at the business as a whole entity. So, for example, if you had you met the requirements, say in Maine, but yet you had an outfit or a location in another state that did not, they would have to factor all that collectively to determine your eligibility. So, bottom line is that it takes into account the entire corporate structure to determine eligibility.
Okay, so if it's something where if we wanted to get involved, we'd have to go at a corporate level, correct?
That's correct.
Okay, thank you.
So there is a question on the chat from Mary Watson, and she is with Fisher Engineering. And her question is that a number of her employees work through a staffing agency, and is Fisher Engineering able to count those employees? Unfortunately, Mary, they are not an employee of Fisher Engineering, Douglas Dynamics. So it would be incumbent upon your staffing agency to register or to apply for recognition. And she has another question too. So go ahead, Mary.
So I just want to clarify what that other gentleman said. So we're a single entity in Maine, Fisher Engineering, doing business as Fisher Engineering, but we cannot apply as Fisher Engineering. We have to apply as Douglas Dynamics, who owns 21 locations.
That is a good question. You're doing business as Fisher Engineering?
Right, in the state of Maine. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But our parent company is Douglas Dynamics, which, like I said, has 21 locations. So can we just register as Fisher Engineering?
I think you can try to do that. That's a question that we can ask the U.S. Department of Labor, Veterans Employment Training Service. But the way you make it sound is that Douglas Dynamics is your parent company,
Mm-hmm.
and they have locations outside of Maine. That would have to be through Douglas Dynamics and not through Fisher Engineering.
Can we get clarification on that? Because we do have a different tax ID number too. So, I mean,
Sure, Mary.
Because nobody in Maine knows who Douglas Dynamics is. We're Fisher Engineering. We make the Fisher snow plows, and if we're going to get recognized to help, if this is going to be recognition for people that may be interested in us, because we do hire a number of veterans, we would like them to know us as Fisher Engineering. And then people get confused with Douglas Dynamics and General Dynamics. And so all of our ads are Fisher Engineering when we recruit for our site.
Sure. Well, you mentioned that you have a separate tax ID, so that may be the determining factor. But why don't we connect offline, Mary, and I will see what we can do about getting the answers to those questions directly from the source, so that you have the information that you need to go forward.
Mary, let me ask you this. This Alan Black's on another vet rep. When you do official letters to people and stuff, is it Fisher Engineering completely, or do you also add the Douglas part of that?
It depends. It's both. So, like, if we're
that's kind of what DOL's trying to avoid, is to let something like that happen. So then kind of Douglas gets the logo as well when it comes to the to put out letterhead and stuff, things like that. So, but Leo can clear it up for you.
Yeah, we'll connect offline, Mary. We'll see what we can do about getting the correct answer for you.
Yeah, because I think it's all dependent on the circumstance. Because like Penobscot Job Corps, they just won it last year, and they're part of career systems development. So it all depends on your certain circumstance.
Right, and I think each one is unique to that. So we want to make sure that we provide the correct information. Other questions in chat or out in the virtual audience?
Leo, I think another thing that we want to make sure that everybody knows is that we want everybody to be able to get this. We want every business in the state of Maine to be able to have this and be recognized for the great things they do for the veterans of this state. So when we are saying things like, we have to find out if you're qualified and that type of thing, we're only doing that because we have to, because we would really love to have everybody.
And I do have to stress, you're right, Alan, absolutely right. And you have to stress, this is, even though the U.S. Department of Labor, Veterans Employment and Training Service identifies this as an award. An award is something that you win, that you receive, because you have to apply for this program. You have to pay an application fee for this program. That it's really a recognition. It's a great recognition, but it is recognition that you can use to promote your business as a veteran-friendly employer throughout, so that you're attracting veterans. Veterans will see that you're a HIRE Vets Medallion recognition recipient and know that you're veteran friendly. And this not only goes through within the state of Maine, but can signal your efforts for hiring veterans nationally. A lot of businesses are trying to attract individuals from other states based off of their work economy. We'd like to attract them to Maine. This is one way that we can do that, even though Maine has a very small population as compared to other states. Our veteran population is a little bit aging, but at the same time, we're very proud of the work that we do to hire veterans. And this is just one way to signal that. Other questions from the audience? Well, either I bored everybody to death or it was really well done and you got all the information that you need. So we do hope this is worth the time investment this morning. Your attendance today does affirm your company's commitment to our military veterans. Can't say that enough. But I would like to send a special shout out to Veterans Representative Frank Martin for his work in the background setting up this presentation. And again, on behalf of the Maine Department of Labor's Veterans team, thanks for attending our presentation. And remember that we are here for you and our military veterans. So if we can be of service, please do not hesitate to reach out. Be safe out there and make it a great day. Thanks, everyone.